course, to start yawning just before I go live. So we finished the Vivid model: vision, identity, voice, information, and development. And we're going to move on to how to plan anything. And this is another one of my brain hacks to help you break through the limitation. My head is gleaming. Hold on, let's try to get a little better shine so it won't be as distracting. No, it didn't help. Okay. So, as I have progressed as an entrepreneur, I just remember how difficult in the early days especially it was to write a business plan. Figuring out how to answer all of the questions was always a problem. And then I started learning that there were different types of plans. You know, there's a strategic plan, there's a working plan that you write for yourself and for your team. There's a business plan that's geared for funding that you would present to a bank or to a financial investor. So there's all these different types of plans. And so writing your vision is about planning. The difference between a dream and a vision is that the vision is a dream with a plan. So you have to write a plan in some form. And writing a plan does not mean you write something down and it's perfect and it works forever and it represents every issue that you're going to face. That's not the issue at all. More often than not, it's just more important that you have a plan, that you have a plan that's based on some logical thought process or some data that you have gathered information, even if that's informally gathered information. Bottom line is you want to have some kind of a plan based on what you know right now, and to define what it is you're trying to do and to help you communicate to other people who might be working with you, supporting you, buying from you, investing in you. All of those people need a vision to be articulated so they know how and why they would want to be involved with you. So when you think about writing a plan, it could be a strategic plan. It could be a communications plan. It could be a marketing plan. It could be a launch plan. Like, there's so many different ways to do it. You can do it. I have a one page. It usually ends up being about 2 or 3, but there's a 1-page marketing format. So it doesn't even have to be multiple pages. The bottom line is you just need a plan of some kind to start with and to be working from, and that you can use to communicate with other people, and that you also can update on a regular basis. Because even just the act of planning and the act of writing it down is going to do something mentally and emotionally to you that helps you move forward with more confidence. So I love I've called it a couple of different things, but sometimes I call it Building the Ark, which is my Building the Ark framework. Literally is me. It came about because I was planning with a former business partner. I was doing all the strategic planning around the business, the operations, setting up all the talent model. Like, I was doing all of that work. And when someone asked me about the process, like what I was doing when we started the business, I said, I feel like I'm building the ark. And it stuck because I feel like it's such a great metaphor for building a business or for building anything. You are literally building an ark that for a day that's coming in the future that you don't know, you don't know for sure when that day is, but you know you're preparing for something big. And so your plan is the blueprint that you're using to build this thing that you've never seen before, that perhaps no one else has built before, but you are building it to exacting specifications as you are inspired, as you learn, as you grow, and as you do things and fail. You come back and you adjust your plan accordingly and you keep moving forward. But your vision is like building an ark. So, and I've also called it the flip 5 for planning, because I first introduced it with my flip productivity system. So now I really call it just basically how to plan anything. I describe it as how to plan anything, and I call it my Building the Ark framework. And it's just literally 5 simple things, and that's why I call it a brain hack, because I think reducing your plan to 5 basic things, or even 5 basic questions that you want to answer, just like the Vivid model. Those models always help you. Acronyms also help you, but this one is not an acronym, but it is 5 steps. But they're simple ways to think about things that are normally very complex and that normally will stop us in our tracks. So get you some momentum so that you can start putting words around what it is you're trying to accomplish. So it's very simple. And I was a cheerleader, remember, when in high school. So I always want to get you moving and doing something to help you learn. But there's 5 things. It's look within, look up, look around, look ahead, and look back. Okay, you want to look back. And so when you do those 5 things, you can plan anything. So look within is about answering the question, what is it that you want? What do you really want? What do you want to build? Right? What is in your heart to do? What do you want to accomplish? You've got to answer that question first. Look within. What is it that you want to do? Then looking up is about finding a higher purpose and a bigger reason. So why is this worth doing? Why is this something that you want to invest your time and energy in? And, we've heard when you have a great why, when you know your why, it makes the doing much easier. It makes enduring easier as trouble and trials and everything comes, and it will. So look within, look up. So then it is look around. Look around. What resources can you employ? What things do you already have? God asked Moses, what is in your hand? What's in your hand already? And so what is in your hand, God is always going to expect you to use what is in your hand before he gives you more. He's already given you everything that you need to start. So if you don't start with what you have, we tend to focus on what it is we don't have. I don't have money. I don't have employees. I don't have a building. I don't have equipment. That's us all day long. I know I do it. I still do it. I have to catch myself. So what you want to do is start with what do I have? And what you have it's much more important and more valuable than what you don't have. And what you have is enough. Remember David? Saul was trying to give David his professional military armor, beautiful, polished, high quality equipment. And David was like, this don't fit me. I don't know how to use this. I haven't tested this in battle already. So I'm going to use these 5 smooth stones that I already have. I'm going to use something I know works. Now that doesn't mean that Saul's armor was not good and that it wasn't like top of the line, the best there is. But it just meant David was like, I don't know that. I don't have that. I have these 5 rocks in my hand. So what you have in your hand is better than the most technologically advanced equipment, better than the highest quality real estate. What you have already is the best thing for what it is that you need. It's a seed that God wants you to sow, and then he is going to he'll rain on it and bring the increase. So you have to start with that. So look around, and your resources also might be people. It might be experience that you've already had, but you taking inventory of what it is that you already have. And then looking ahead. Now looking ahead is where we come back to the Vivid model. What is the big picture? So when you look ahead, you want to employ the Vivid model to answer the questions. What's the vision? What's set out in front of you that you're trying to accomplish? What is your identity? How are you going to show up? Who do you think you are as you are going to pursue that? And why are you the best person to do it? And then what's your core message that you're trying to share to help you get there and to get others to buy in with you to go? And then what are you missing? What information are you missing? What do you need to know so that you can move forward with confidence? And then who you need to become on your way to that. So looking ahead to finding that big picture, you're using the vivid model. Then, so that's look ahead. So look within, look up, look around, look ahead. If you do that, you'll learn, I promise. Like, do your little cheerleading move. Look within, look up, look around, look ahead. And then you want to look back. Now, looking back is about really evaluating your progress. Looking at how far you've come. It's not about looking in the past, like what happened before, it is. It's not living in the past, but it is looking in the past. It could be the recent past. It could be, distant past. But either way, it's looking behind you, looking to see where you've been, what you've done, what you've accomplished, what opportunities that you missed, what you could have done better, and just really taking a good, honest assessment of your current situation based on the progress that you've been able to make up to this point. So I think this is a step that we miss a lot. We either we just get frozen in our tracks because of a failure that we may have experienced, or because we're afraid of disappointment. That's me. Afraid of disappointment. So then we don't do anything, or we do the same activities over and over again to soothe ourselves. We stay busy and trick ourselves into thinking that we're doing something, but we're only hiding the fact that we are afraid, or that we are afraid to lose. We're afraid to look bad. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid to care. We're afraid to hope because we don't want to be disappointed. So sometimes you won't look back. You won't evaluate what the results of the work that you've done, because you just really don't want to face the truth. So looking back is a vital skill. It's a muscle that we have to strengthen so that we're not moved one way or the other. Win, lose, draw, delay, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're able to be adult and look at every situation just for what it is, and not trying to color it in any way, just being really honest with ourselves. You can be hopeful, you can be positive, you can be forward thinking, you can be all of that and still be pragmatic and pay attention to details and evaluate situations and take responsibility for every step in the process. So that is it. That is that simple. Literally, if you can do those 5 things, look within, look up, look around, look ahead, and look back, you can plan anything.